So Arsenal have already bid for Declan Rice and that bid is rejected. Kai Havertz to Arsenal is actually happening, and no, I'm not joking. Chelsea really want Moises Caicedo and they look like the ones who are definitely going to make a bid. But the price tag might be high and this could be something like a Mudryk deal. But hey, let's just kind of respect Chelsea because they got another manager and they're gonna start afresh next season. So let's see how that will turn out to be. But here we go. So second bid is coming. Manchester City wanted to sign Declan Rice, so they are ready to offer 70 million pounds plus Calvin Phillips, but the player does not want to move. So that's the case. So now Fabrizio says, understand that Kai Havertz has given green light to Arsenal's contract bid after positive indications. No problem on personal terms. Arsenal and Chelsea in contact. No chance for 75 million pounds, but Chelsea will be flexible. Bayern informed but still quiet. Real 100% out of the race. So no Real Madrid for Kai Havertz. I don't know if they were really interested in that, but let's see. But here we go. Arsenal have significantly advanced on Declan Rice's personal terms in the last few days. 80 million pounds was never going to be enough to convince West Ham, as they hope they get more than 100 million pounds to sell Rice. So Arsenal will bid again after advantage on personal terms. So first bid for Declan Rice was 80 million pounds, which was rejected. West Ham want 100 million up front. So here we go. Fabrizio says that Arsenal will bid again after advantage on personal terms discussed with Declan Rice. Gunners consider 80 million opening bid as way to start concrete negotiations with West Ham, but also know timing will be crucial to avoid hijacks. So Arsenal wanted to pay 80 million pounds over 6 years with a further 10 million pounds in add-ons. West Ham viewed the add-ons as unrealistic and rejected the first bid. Second bid still expected and Rice is still keen on Arsenal. So that is coming in from Kaya Kanak. That's the reality. So that's the update. So let's see whether that will be happening or not. 80 million pounds to be paid over 6 years and 10 million in add-ons. That's not happening. So what is happening? Like, what do West Ham really want? Well, apparently, James Ducker from Telegraph says that whereas Arsenal are prepared to sink much of their transfer budget into Declan Rice from West Ham, £100 million deal for the England midfielder would barely touch the sides at City. Should it come to it, so great is the revenue base they have built up. Manchester City will have the biggest transfer budget in football history this summer. By contrast, the likes of Chelsea, United and Arsenal have much smaller, more defined budgets that will need to be supplemented heavily by sales if they are to plug the majority of the holes their managers want filling in. Well, let's see how that is turning out to be. But Arsenal's new bid for Rice will be £90 million guaranteed with 10 million in add-ons. Only issue is West Ham want payment in 2 installments coming in from Sammy Mogwell. Yes, so £90 million. £90 million up front and 10 million in add-ons. Very interesting. West Ham would want a bidding war, but no, Rice wants Arsenal, so that will help us. So here we go. Coming in from Fabrizio Romano, ladies and gentlemen, and I don't know whether I should be happy or not. I've really criticized this guy, made fun of him, and now I have to bear with all what I said, and I would have to cheer for this guy. I don't mind as long as what Arteta wants, man. Fabrizio Romano says 90% of the personal terms between Havertz and Arsenal is agreed. Agents and players have decided the proposal made by Arsenal is yes. So Havertz wants to join Arsenal, baby. Interesting. Angelo Mangiante says, who's a journalist at Sky Sports, that Havertz is very close to Arsenal, a player of great class who left his mark with his decisive goals in the trophies, one with Chelsea and Thomas Tuchel. And Simon Phillips says that as per sources, Kai Havertz wants to stay in London. He has given verbal agreement to Arsenal. Chelsea want 60 to 70 million pounds and have communicated this through agents, but Arsenal don't want to pay that much. So also understand that 60 million inclusive of add-ons should be enough to tempt Chelsea to sell Kai Havertz to Arsenal. No issues in terms of the player. He has already spoken directly to Arteta and Jorginho. We will see how it will unfold in the next few days. Coming in from another source, so it's interesting. Kai Havertz to Arsenal. Also, Taiwo Avoni, did you know that the Nottingham Forest striker is an Arsenal fan? He says, I like to dream big even if no one believes in it. Even secondary schoolmates can testify to that. I used to tell them then that one day I would play for a Premier League club like Arsenal because I supported them when I was younger. God damn it. All these young players, man, want to play for Arsenal, and they just say these kind of in an interview, and then when the deal does not happen and you suddenly see them bitching about Arsenal then. Anyway, so Matt Law comes in that Caicedo can leave Brighton, but the Premier League club want much more than 70 million pounds that was rejected from Arsenal in January. Could be further emboldened by West Ham's valuation of Declan Rice. Yes, also Dharmesh says that growing feeling Chelsea will make formal bid for Moises Caicedo. Internal discussions continue. Brighton will want more than 60 million add-ons plus add-ons, which Arsenal had offered them in January. Matt Law also says that Chelsea will certainly have to pay well over 80 million pounds to land Caicedo. Tony Bloom is understood to value him as high as 120 million pounds. Yeah, that's because it's Chelsea. Okay, alright. Chelsea prepared to offer players, possibly including Gallagher. Chelsea are currently front runners amongst a host of clubs. This is a joke right now, isn't it? Anyways, I just don't get it, man, at times. So in Declan Rice situation, Arsenal have the upper hand. That's really great. I love to see that. It's very interesting to see that. But whether that will happen or not, only time will tell. Exclusive Arsenal's youngster Ismail Olad Mhand is set to sign his first professional contract with the club. Joel Idaho has been released by Arsenal after the club opted not to trigger extension option. So that's that. So Kieran Gill says that word from West Ham is Arsenal, Chelsea, Man City and United have all registered their interest in Declan. First bid 80 plus 10 million add-ons was rejected immediately. Hammers banking on a bidding war that will drive price up over the 100 million pounds, but that totally depends if... I think that that only happens if Chelsea come into the situation, but I don't think so Chelsea will go mad in this transfer window unless they have sales. So let's see whether that will happen or not. With this, I'd like to end this episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you seek regular daily Arsenal content, the best place to be, consider subscribing. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.